Hi everybody, welcome back to Philosophy Media. This channel is all about the FOSS. In today's video, we'll be going over how to add a custom resolution into your system's display settings. If you just installed a Linux distribution and are unable to find your display's resolution in your system settings, this video is for you. Because I've already done this on my system, I'll be using a Debian virtual machine for today. And we will first make the script that will create the new setting. Then we'll add it, and lastly we'll enable it. And if all goes well, we can modify the init default configuration file to make these changes persistent. And all that being said, I'll just switch over to the virtual machine now and we can get started. Yeah, and as you can see, mine doesn't look that great. If I full screen it, yeah, I can definitely do better than that. So if I go into my settings, go into devices, yeah, you can see the resolution I'm using right now is only 1280 by 720. And the actual resolution for my device is 1360 by 768. And if I click on it to show us the list, yeah, it's not even in here. So after we add it and enable it, I'm sure this will look much nicer. So to do that, I'll just close this out and now I'll jump over the terminal. And there's a few different things that we're going to need. So I already started a short list here. So we'll need the display name, the resolution, and the mode line. To find the display name, you just go back over the terminal and use the xrandr command. So that's just xrandr and enter. And there's mine right there, virtual 0. So I'm just going to copy that. Yeah, and just take note too that my resolution isn't in here either. So that would be 1360 by 768. So after we do this, it should be added to this list too. So yeah, I'll just copy that, jump back over here, paste that there. And the next thing we need is the resolution. And I found the best way to find this is actually just to turn your screen off and back on again. And the first thing that should pop up is your resolution with your frame rate. That's that little box that usually shows up in the top right or top left corner of your screen as soon as you turn it on. So for me, that'll be 1360 by 768. And the refresh rate on mine is 60. And it'll most likely be the same on yours too. So next up, we have the mode line. To find that, we can use the CVT command. So I'll just jump back over here. Go CVT, and then your resolution. So for me, it was 1360 by 768. And those are just separated by a space. So then I'll hit enter. And there's our mode line right here. And we need this entire thing except for the word mode line. So I'll just start the double quotes and copy the entire line. And then jump back over to our notes and paste that right here. So now that we have everything we need, we can start our script. So to do that, I'll just clear this out and then create the bash file. So for me, I'll just be using the touch command and I'll call it resfix.sh. And if I ls, yep, there it is. Just have to make it executable. So chmod +x resfix.sh. And then if I ls-l, yep, there it is right there. Executable. So now that we have that ready, we can open up, I guess, Nano. This will be a fairly small script, so Nano should do the trick. We'll clear this out. So Nano resfix.sh. And the first thing we'll need is the shebang. So just like so. And then next, I guess we'll start with a couple variables. One for the device name and the other for the resolution. And we could use one too for the mode line. But as you can see over here on our notes that there's quite a bit of spaces in there. So if we did create a variable for this, we just have to fill it with a bunch of backslashes or for escape characters to get rid of all these spaces. And we're only using it once, so yeah, I'm just not going to bother. We can just copy and paste that in, and then just create variables for the display name and resolution. So yeah, I'll just do that now, I guess. So device name equals, then we can go back over here to our notes, and I'll just copy and paste that. And there's first variable done, and next will be for the resolution. Equals, and go back over here. And I just noticed a bit of a mistake I made here. I forgot to add a couple decimals on this. So that should look just like that. So now I'm going to copy this. Go back over here and paste that in there. So that does it for our variables. And now I guess we can just put out a print statement here, just saying what we're doing. So changing resolution. And then after that, I'm just going to put it to sleep. I'm on a fairly little machine here, so just to keep everything running smoothly, I usually let it sleep quite a bit. 2 seconds should be good. And then we need our first actual command. So this will be xrender. So xrender, and then new mode. And then we copy in our mode line that we, or paste in our mode line that we copied before. So I just copy this. Go back over here, and then I'll paste that in here. Just like so. And then I'm going to let it sleep a bit. Sleep again. And then maybe I'll just create a blank line here. So, and then we can just tell the user what's going on. So I'll just say new mode created. And then I'll let it sleep for a bit. And then our next xrender command will be to add the mode. So now we've created it, and now we have to add it. So xrender, add mode. And then we can use our first variable, so our device name. So device name, and then we'll need our resolution. Like so. Now let's sleep. And then I'm just going to print out a print statement here. Just tell the user what's going on. So echo mode added maybe. And then we'll let it sleep again. And then after that, we have to select the mode. So by this point, the mode or the settings should now be in our resolution settings list. But just to make it easier so we don't have to do 2 steps every time we go to do this, I'm just going to add the line right here. So it'll, after we create the mode and add it, it'll then just switch to it. So to do that, we can go xrender, output, and then the name of the device. So, and then mode, and then the resolution. And then let it sleep. Print out something to tell the user what's going on. So mode selected. And now let's sleep again. Maybe a bit longer this time. Just throw in a blank line here, I think. And then we can echo done. And I think that's it. So we have our device name, resolution, new mode. So we're adding that resolution to the system settings. And then we're adding it right here. And then we're switching to it right here. And before I save this and try to run it, I just saw one little mistake that I got to fix here. Spelled echo wrong. That's better. So now I'll just save it and exit. And now we can try to run it. So just like so. Enter. Changing resolution. New mode created. Added, selected. Yep, looks good. Resolution's definitely better than it was before. And we'll switch to another workspace here. Yeah, top bar definitely looks better than it did. So now that we've run our script, if we check the system settings again, that resolution setting should be in there. Yep, there it is right there. 1360 by 768. And just check it in the list here. Yep, there it is right there. And even this window just looks a lot better than it did before. So I think we're definitely on the right track here. But the only little problem I can think of now is if we try to restart the machine, I'm 99.9% sure this won't be persistent. So meaning each time you start up your machine, you'd have to run this script, which wouldn't be any big deal. It'd only take a couple seconds, but it would definitely be better if that stuff was just already done for us. So to make that happen, all we have to do is edit a configuration file. So switch back over to the terminal and maybe I'll clear this out. And the configuration file that we're going to have to edit is called .x profile. But if you're on a Ubuntu distribution, chances are it's not going to be in your home directory where it's normally located. And I'm on Debian, so just to show you, yeah, it's not even in there. And I don't think it is on Ubuntu either. But that's no big deal because we can just create it. And I'll just use the touch command. So touch.x profile. And if I ls-la, yep, there it is at the bottom. So now we just have to make it executable. Do that with the change mod command. So now if I ls-la, yeah, now it's executable. So the modification we have to do this file is we just have to add the path to where we created the script from. So I'll just open this up with Nano. And where I have it, the script is in my modules folder, and bash, and then the name of the script, just like that. So once you have the path in there to wherever you made your script, just save the file, Control O, and then Control X to exit. And then I'll clear this out. And maybe I'll just reboot from here actually. So sudo systemctl reboot. And then I'll let that do its thing. The only downfall to doing it this way is it does, the system reads the .x profile kind of late in the startup process. So unfortunately, it won't affect your login screen. But after you log in, the changes should take effect soon after. So I'll just log in here. And hopefully when it opens up, the resolution should be just where we want it. Let's give it a second. Yeah, it definitely looks a bit better. So now I'll just open up settings. Yep, and there's our resolution right there. 1360 by 768. And if we check the list, yep, there it is right there. So yeah, I think everything's successful. And maybe I'll just double check with Xrender too. So I'll open up the terminal. And so let's run Xrender. Yep, and there's our resolution at the bottom right there. 1360 by 768. Or of course, whichever resolution you're using. So the only thing I'm not crazy about was how long it took the system to boot up after we logged in. And it wasn't that long, it was a few seconds longer than it normally is. And I think that's because of the sleep commands that I had in our script. Just because my system is so much older, I thought it would need it. But I think it is affecting how long it takes for the system to boot up after login. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly edit the script and take out those sleep commands. And then I'll try to reboot again and make sure everything boots up fine. And if it does, I guess I'll just leave those sleep commands out. But yeah, I just had it in there for when I'm running it without the X profile folder or file, sorry. And just running it normally on the system. I just like it to sleep for a little bit in between commands. But yeah, like I said, I'm not crazy about the boot up time after login. So I'm just going to remove those settings now, or those commands now. And yeah, I try to reboot again and just make sure everything's good. And if it is, I'll just leave those commands out of there. So to do that, I'm just going to go back to my modules. And now I'll use nano. resfix.sh. Yeah, and there we go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these commands right here. Sleep. And get rid of that. Actually, well, I'm thinking I might as well get rid of these too. So I'm just going to leave our 3 main commands and that'll be it. And I'll take these out. And get rid of this. Yeah, and I'm going to save it just like that. So hopefully now when we, after we log in, the system will boot up just a few seconds quicker. So Control to save, Control X to exit. And I'll just clear it out and reboot again. So sudo systemctl reboot. So hopefully now after it starts up, everything will be just as it was last time we started up, except it'll boot a little bit quicker. I'll just wait for a login. Here we go. Like I said earlier too, the X profile file is read a bit late in the boot up process, so it doesn't affect the login screen. But after we log in, all the changes should take effect. So hopefully this will be a bit quicker. Yeah, that was definitely quicker. So I don't think we needed those sleeps in there. And the resolution still looks good. I'll just open the system settings and double check. And yep, there's the resolution that we added. So I'll get rid of this and then just double check with Xrender. So yep, and there it is right there. So I think we're good to go. Just trying to think of anything else I can tell you before I call it a day. But I think that's about it. So yeah, thank you guys for checking out the video in the channel. And I hope this can help you fix some of your resolution issues if you're having any. So with that, thanks for watching, and guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.